Yeah, I believe the second match tomorrow. We have Miller versus Flash starting at the same time. That will be at noon, and then whenever that match is over, Zeroth and Kuni will face off. So we'll have an idea who's going to be facing Narga, and then the winner of that match, either Kuni or Zeroth, will be on to face the winner of this one. And we are underway. It is Ninja Village. Runners are going to be holding ranks, performing the most difficult of all tricks, which is jumping and not losing time. Learning how to cloud step as they are en route towards Autumn Hills. Be interesting to see what strat differences we have between the runners, given the 1 minute difference roughly between their PBs. Minute 10 to be precise. I don't expect too much in the way of shenanigans in Autumn Hills, but starting in Catacombs, probably going to see a few more strat differences, maybe a little bit more aggressive play. Of course, do not know whether or not the runners did fresh starts. So Alpha Plant is a question mark for both. Shard game if you want. So Storm is going to get 0 shards, and that is going to be 1 for SpaceNarc. Early advantage here for the Canadian. Paying the Demon King under the table. And getting a little bit in return. Into Village, just about complete. And then the run will actually begin. Should see 141s or so from both of these guys. Yeah, there you go. Looks like loads are smidge faster for Storm. Not too much. Maybe like 100th of a second or so. So Sig should stay pretty clean for most of this, I imagine. Rear turtle boost coming in for both runners. Will we get top block or lower block? We're going to get top from Storm, low from SpaceNarc. The objectively correct play coming in from the Canadian. No bias on this commentary, by the way. A little bit of a hiccup on the green cap, though, is going to give Storm the early edge. About a second as well, getting a little bit of an advantage on the wall, but Snark does not have to go all the way to the right to collect the extra shard, thanks to the Demon King. And that means he will be a little bit faster in shop, barring any menu shenanigans, of course. Narc, of course, knows that he's coming in a little bit behind the 8 ball, minute 10 in PB time, behind Storm. And maybe a little bit of race nerves coming in there, getting hit by an orange fireball, but recovers nicely and will continue on, even gets the health refill, just in case. And a little bit of a surprise 4-ish second advantage here in the early going for Storm, just on the basis of some small spaghetti from Narc kind of adding up over the course of the first half of Autumn Hills here. Time to go for a swim. Did you know that the underwater music gets dampened? Hope you enjoyed that joke, because I did. DJ. The Alpha Plant cult. No, it dampens, because it's underwater. Thanks, Nori. Nori gets it. All right, Spike Tower, first major trick of the game. Setup is good for Storm, and he is over very cleanly. A little bit of a different setup for Narc, but he handles that well. Dropping down for the shards, of course. Nobody is safe. Okay, not as long as I'm around. Nobody is safe, one might say. Storm continuing to hold on to the early lead here in the Autumn Hills. Still about 4 seconds. Looks like Narc has kind of settled down the race nerves. This is played cleanly, starting from the swim. All right, most difficult room in the game, successfully completed by Storm. Correctly getting the slash jump. No stump jump, though. Stump jump good for Narc. That'll be good. catch him up a little bit of time. I doubt we will see any scary berries from either of these runners. Definitely don't expect it from Narc. Might see it from Storm, depending on how confident he's feeling. Autumn Hills has been pretty clear and clean so far. If he's watching the stream, he knows he's got a little bit of an advantage. Could possibly risk it for said biscuit. Going to the shop, striking the ninja, shurikens, all that good stuff. Purchased at the end of, as of the end of Autumn Hills. So we can slash off projectiles, we can recover from damage boosts, and we can throw some ninja stars. The Golden Fight will begin left side of your screen. Storm. It's in there, ducks under. That is indeed no scary berry. Doesn't even do like the little, see the little sneak that Narc's doing there? Getting a couple extra frames. Oh, but he pays for it. He gets damaged. And we'll lose time to second phase Leaf Golem. Little bit of cheekiness from Narc. Causing him to dip his toes into maple syrup and slow him down. Maybe the Arctic front coming in through Canada today, blowing snow in all sorts of different directions. Made him feel a little bit too comfy, a little bit too, too at home in the winter. Decided to play aggressive. Storm jumps over Necro. That'll make certain people happy. Will make others upset. Catacombs, of course, if you haven't seen this before, is largely a cycle based. I say largely. There are a lot of cycles, but there's a lot of other tech that goes on in Catacombs, including good arena fights, etc., etc., badonkadonk, high Ruxton versus low Ruxton RNG, and so on and so forth. But plenty of cycles, plenty of crushers to navigate through Catacombs, and opportunities for runners to lose at least 8 years every time they miss one of the cycles. It's going to be a butt boost for Storm, and he is through quite cleanly. Left side of your screen. See if Narc goes for it. Down to the 1 HP, does get the damage, and ooh! Gosh, his heels scraped there, but he is through the butt boost. Storm successfully navigating possibly the most difficult crushers in the game with the spikes there. They love to pull you down into said spikes. But he is through. And advancing onwards to Ruxton. Still Badonkadonk left. No Kitty Crusher here for Storm. Play it nice and safe. Of course, going to go for the damage boost here in the swim. It is literally free. Costs you $0. Do that damage boost. Also, no Cutie Crusher for SpaceNarc. No surprise there. We do get a left side health refill from Storm. And of course, Badonkadonk Room. We'll keep eyes on the left side. Setup is approximately at 8:30 for Storm. Waiting, looking good. Doesn't get the lantern, no. That is at least 2 weeks of time loss for Storm. He's in rough now. Alright, that is a 8:50 setup start for SpaceNarc. Doesn't even get the slash off. So Storm won't have to worry about losing time to Narc off of that. Decent wizard positioning, though, for SpaceNarc. Right there before the drop down. It's about a 20-second separation between the runners right now, midway through Catacombs. That can be partially evened out if Storm gets low and SpaceNarc gets higher Ruxton. No badonks, no balls of steel. That's okay, Storm's through that room just fine. Coming up on to our good friend, the Necromancer, 940 shop area entrance. Storm will try and keep a an eye on when Narc ends up hitting that. A little bit of spaghetti here on the Crusher room, but no, SpaceNarc is through just fine. All right, high or low Ruxton? We do get low for Storm. That's good news for Space, possibly. Yeah, still about a 20-second separation between runners. SpaceNarc did a good job. Settled into the race. Looking pretty good here on the low Ruxton kill for Storm with the slash jump up top. Topside kill as well. Doesn't have to drop down onto the spaceship. Right side, it is high Ruxton for SpaceNarc. RNG coming into play, catching up Narc probably to the tune of 17 days worth of time save. 33 exit from Catacombs for Storm. Rux does want a tight race, possibly a right race. What did I say? 32 exit for Storm and a 48 for Narc. So 16 seconds difference. In a Bamboo Creek. A miniature vacation for the runners. Of course, plenty can go wrong. Not the least of which is Tree Room and BC11. Tree Room notorious for slapping runners right in the face and losing them time, causing them to meet our fated demon Corbel. Talks crap about us the whole way. Looking clean from both runners so far. No major or minor mistakes really from either runner. Tree Room here for Storm is good. Gets the Cloud Step off of the Orange Fireball Kappa and is through. And Tree Room for SpaceNarc. Ooh, yep, he takes a dip. Bounces off the spikes. Very careful to slash that fireball and not take the hit down on 1 HP. Nice recovery from Narc. Avoiding the fated death. Meanwhile, BC11 is good for Storm. So is Steel Heart. And possibly a bit of a difference maker here. No, SpaceNarc gets it first try. Steel Heart as well. Narc keeping the pressure on Storm, not letting him get away with this Bamboo Creek. Free. Bit of a hit there from Storm. Does recover on the knockback. Same time, Narc takes a hit as well. Oh, you want the remix? Well, I like Chinese food, and it's good for you too. I like to eat Chinese food. And Chinese food is yummy too. If you like me too, you'll bring me Chinese food. Because it is so yummy. You'll bring me Chinese food. Chinese food is yummy too. It makes me glad to go off to Never Neverland. Howling Grotto. Picking up the wingsuit and wingsuit attack. Very much a movement-heavy stage. Lots of different things that can go. That was a rendition. Thanks, Nori. Lots of things that can go wrong. Lots of little optimizations that you can do, such as the wingsuit attacks up on these wind tunnels to gain a little bit of an extra boost of velocity, as you see from SpaceNarc right side. Gets it very cleanly. No god drop there for Storm. It's okay. Nice clean weave from Narc, though. Timing 14:02 heading into the triple rock room. Okay. Keep that in mind. Get you an update on the time. Difference. A little bit of a knockback from Narc there. Yeah, Narc's caught up quite a bit. He's only about 8 seconds behind now. A little bit of RNG in favor, but also just some cleaner movement in the back half of Bamboo. DK skip now, setting up for a Storm is good. SpaceNarc is... Oh, he went for it, but he was a little bit late. That's a death. and possibly a catastrophic one for Narc. He's going to be sent back a fair ways. In addition to getting the Corbel cutscene, some breathing room here for Storm, who was getting pressured by Narc, who had caught up approximately a 20-second deficit and trimmed it down to just 8. Now it's going to be on the order of a minute or more, or maybe a little bit less, depending. Thank you, Corbel, for talking crap. No God Yeet from Storm. That's okay. DK skip second try for Narc? Question mark? Yes, he gets it second try. Like to see that. Making the mistake, but comes back with confidence and nails the trick. It's a good sign from Narc. A little bit of a whiff there on the wingsuit from Storm. A little too far left. Did not catch that wind tunnel cleanly. And probably ended up losing almost a second to that, actually, because he dropped down. Caught a little bit of it and then moved too far to the left and was out of the wind tunnel and had to step his way back in. 1545 Emerald Golem start for Storm. Looking for the 2 cycle on phase 1, obviously. And then some good RNG. Phase 2. See how it pans out. Fight! Can you count to 7? Yes, you can. What did I say, 1545? Help me out, chat. Counts to 7 again, successfully, up top. Down to 2 HP. Could possibly be a little bit dangerous. Yeah, so about 50 seconds. A little shy of 50 seconds separation between runners. Green Orb getting away from Storm a little bit, but he chases it down successfully. Smashes him in the face, destroying the Golem and all his hard work. Poor Golem. Just wanted a paycheck, you know? Buy some eggs. First half of phase 1 looking good for Narc. Successfully counts to 7, dodges an orb. Doesn't get knocked back into the gauntlet, which is good. Shroom Marsh begins left side of your screen for Storm. Lots of holding right here. It is a deceptively hard stage. Because just kind of mentally, I find. Because you're holding right for so much of it. And you think that's all you really need to do is hold right and jump. There's actually a lot of small optimizations that you can do. Will allow you to go fast, like these back boosts off of these green kappas from Storm. Making sure you ride the wingsuit to stay high enough to get that slash jump off the bird, etc., etc., all sorts of things. And plus, you do skip a checkpoint, and if things go sideways after said checkpoint, you will lose an absolute metric boatload of time. Emphasis on metric, by the way, not Imperial, because SpaceNarc is Canadian. Alright, Narc is starting his pull shroom, looking pretty clean so far for Storm. Whatever nerves that he had pressing on him in Grotto seem to have abated, quite possibly indicating, by the way, in my estimation, that he is indeed watching the stream, knowing that he doesn't have the pressure of SpaceNarc right on his heels anymore. Probably settled down the nerves just a little bit. You're welcome, DJ. Narc, for his parts, after the deaths to DK Skip, has played quite well. Hasn't really showed much signs that the death is impacting his play too significantly. Takes a bit of a damage boost there, but the fast recovery. Ooh, second one there, actually. We'll lose just a hairball of time as he had to drop down to the ledge and jump up off of it. Bully Room for Storm is a 2-hitter. Pretty good. Could see some RNG factor in with Queen of the Quills. may or may not play a role. Big one, of course, is Carlos and Sousis. What, on the order of something like a 30-second difference between good pattern and bad pattern? Ooh, Storm thought about the right side climb up there, but recognized his movement wasn't quite as clean as he needed it to be. And went and made the safe play to the left. To the left, to the left, to the left, y'all. All right, Queen of the Quills starting for Storm, 20:03. Challenging the messenger with the whip. Ooh. Storm ends up giving the Queen a little bit of a hug, and is going to cost him some time here. Has to wait out the pattern. Does bully her into the right side. There is the wingsuit slash into the knockoff of the ring. Straight back into the right side. So a little bit of a hiccup there at the start. Actually cost him a decent chunk of time, but right also made it better than it could have been. Ooh, 2 HP here for Narc. Uncharacteristic. We'll come up on the refill, though. As we are about to get the hook shots, / rope dart, / grappling hook, / other names. Left side for Narc here for the Queen. That's fine. Ideally want to see her head to the right afterwards. Ooh, the jump slash. Sick tech from Narc. But it is a left. Will, of course, not have to do... Ooh, does get whips here. Down to 1 HP. Narc in questionable territory. Has to wait out the Queen's last. Will jump up onto the rings, but does finish the fight. Avoids the death, which is the salient point there. Still probably saved a few seconds compared to Storm's time on Queen of the Quills. Ooh. Second tries to like tight jump for Storm. Argaber. Gotta find a good spot to get a time juncture here. Yeah, this Craig's is kind of questionable actually for Storm's level. He's had a lot of rope darts just kind of go low. You know, not to talk crap about him, but you know, it's something I know he would be cognizant of for sure. Okay, 22:28 entrance into the portal room. We'll use that. Does he get the portal? Yes, he does. Ooh, try to go for the right side climb. Ooh, the damage boost variant on the right side climb as well. Nice backup there from Storm, showing the knowledge. I'd like to see it. Entering the Colos and Sousis. Actually, we'll just use that as the benchmark time because that was a 23 flat. That'll be easier to remember. Alright, doesn't quite get the kill on Onion Boy, as I like to call him. Now fighting the carrot. Get is a boulder. Ooh, this is gonna be close. Guess the tag, but not quite the kill. There is Green Boy down. Was gonna have to wait for the switch. Craig's, meanwhile, has looked fairly solid for Narc, who is through with the portal as well, going for left side strats. The objectively correct strat. For no particular reason. I just prefer it. And almost a 24 flat. Yeah, so about 58 seconds separation here between the runners as of the start of the Carlos and Sousis fight. So this is definitely not an insurmountable deficit for SpaceNarc. Narc is, despite that death in Howling Grotto to DK skip, has like kept this really tight. Some unfortunate RNG there with the bouncy ball, but does track it down quite well, dealing a significant amount of DPS considering. Couple please while SpaceNarc continues the fight, gets the boulder throw. It's going to be looking pretty good for Narc. Can close this one out. Hitting the spikes though, Storm down to 3 HP. Yeah, it looks like Narc might have saved like 5 or so seconds on that fight, actually. Pretty good, pretty good. Glacial Peak looking okay for Storm so far. Damage boost in off the green Kappa, down to 2 HP. Intended strat there. It is a little bit dicey though because of that spike hit. Does get a health refill, very nice. Won't protect him against spike damage, but will give him a little bit of leeway for some spaghetti against monsters and such. Nice whiz robe, wingsuit cloud step. Takes the damage boost off of the fireball. No big deal. But yeah, Narc cleaner through the spikes there for sure. That's going to save him a little bit of time. A reminder, not to like call you out or anything, Newfie, but this is a PG-13 chat. I'm sure Dino would pop in and mention it momentarily. As she promptly posts boobs. Good job, Newfie. If I was mod, I probably would, but I'm not mod. I'd do it just for the memes. Oh! Krilosh! Gonna do it? Do it. Oh, is that a Sam emote? Or a Max emote? Yes! Max! I love Max. So good! Max is my spirit animal. You're my new favorite person. Alright, first room of Tower of Time is exited at 2655. That's a 55. 2655 for Storm. Will we see Hail Mary? Quite contrary. Wizrobe positioning. Storm nearly got bullied. Alright, Storm has missed actually a couple early rope darts here, which has caused him to lose time to Crusher cycles. Not a significant amount, but it is enough. If any further mistakes happen from Storm, like if he takes a death here in Tower, like he's bleeding enough time to make it interesting for sure. Looks like Narc actually ended up losing a little bit of time there in Glacial Peak. He's going to be leaving this room at about $1.05 behind Storm. Kuni Cycle's good for Storm, speaking of. No health drop, though. Not going to be able to go for the damage boost strats de la baguette. Hail Mary is good for Narc. I miscounted his iframes. I thought it was closer than it was. Right, clean rope dart there for Narc. That will be a bit of a time save versus Storm. Nice setup for the damage boost off the Wizard Robe. Storm doing a good job of making sure to not hold left after that rope dart, which will cause you to take an instant death off the stalactites. Something I certainly didn't do in the rookie tournament. Nope, not me. I would never. Kuni Cycle for Narc is not going to go for it. Recognized the movement wasn't there. Heads up play. No health drop for him either, so not going to be able to go for Le Connexion Français. So at this point, it's up to Storm to basically go for something like Laser Skip, get hit, and then die to the Arcane Golem, or screw up this Crystal Abuse. One of the two. Otherwise, he's in a pretty comfortable position here. Sets up pretty high for the Crystal Abuse, just making sure. Ooh, bailed on the Laser Skip. He thought, he's okay. Third attempt? No. All right, so Storm. Okay, in a way, this is actually good for him that he spaghettied that, even though he's going to have lost the 5 or so seconds to three attempts and then bailing. He's guaranteed to have full HP for the Arcane fight, and that's a heads-up play from him for sure. Recognizing that he just didn't quite have the movement there, didn't want to risk taking the hit and then taking the death. Few claps coming in. A little over halfway done on the Arcane fight. There it is, 30-48. Still 3 seconds better than SpaceNarc's PB, but barring a couple large mistakes from Narc, actually, he was probably in position to be on pace for PB here as well. So GG to Storm, taking game 1 of this best of 3. We'll see what Narc's time was, because he lost about a minute all told between Grotto and a little bit of extra spaghetti and Glacial Peak. But if you can close this out like 31-55-ish, I'd probably have argued that he was on pace for a PP before DK skipped death. A little bit of trouble getting the rope dart there to get back in, getting pushed out by the hand as he's dropping a little bit low. Yeah, he's having a little bit of trouble here. Down to the 1 HP as he's getting clapped away. Has no more iframes and gets orbed. Okay, well, had that gone cleanly, that would have been like a 32-ish finish. So pretty good run from Narc overall, despite the DK skip death. I would argue definitely that he was within striking distance of PB, ergo within striking distance of Storm's 30-48 time here in this race. So if Narc can basically just do that again, but not take a death, we could see a steal here from Narc. Very much in the cards. Runners are going to take a break. We'll be back in a couple minutes. 1-0 Storm heading into game 2.